Yo, what's up? So, this is a Dragon Link deck profile. There's not really too much I want to discuss preemptively, but there are a bit of differences between my build and others. Starting off, there's the standard IB combo, so we run the 3 Draco Nets. We run the Galaxy Serpent and the World Legacy Guard Dragon. So the next engine that we run is actually the rocket engine. So we have two Absol Dragons. It's just a searcher. You can dump it to grave, get your search, or if not, it's a free extender if you can get a rocket on board. Next, still 2 tracers. I don't want to bring this up to 3. I think 2 is actually fine. I see it when I need to see it. There's actually a couple times where I'd rather not see it, as weird as that may sound. But running 3 quick launch and 2 of these, I'd rather see the quick launch. Along with that, the apps router can search it as well, so there's no point in having an extra copy in hand. So for the one-ofs, this lineup hasn't really changed. It's the 1 silver, 1 magna, and this rocket, and rocket synchron. Rocket synchron. They're in a different build. Like if it wasn't an engine, then I would run more numbers for certain ones, or if not, I might think about running different rocket monster. But in terms of this and what I'm trying to do, these are enough. So the rest is we're gonna get into the regular kind of dragon stuff, I guess you can call it, which is just the Red Eyes, Collapse Serpent, Wyver Burster, Destrudo, and our Heavenly Spheres target is a Morphage Goliath. Just being able to shut down the extra deck is pretty good against most decks. Against every matchup, probably not, but it is what it is at that point. So the engine that I haven't seen many people run is the Dragoonity engine. So I'm running 3 Sonatus, equips from the deck, and you summon the equip target, so it's basically just a summon from deck that can't be ashed. So it works out pretty well. Next is 3 Kaus, or Koos. Not really sure how to pronounce it, but 3 of these. Basically, you summon it from its own effect, and if it is your play opener, then you can make the level 8 synchro Barcha using Sonatus and Kaus, because he can be treated as a level 4 as long as it is for a synchro summon. Along with that, he's the same as Flanks in the effect to summon from the spell trap zone. And speaking of Flanks, we run 2. Usually you can end up dumping it, but in terms of what's more important, the Kaus is more important than the Flanks. But he's there just to have extras. And that's actually it for the monsters. on to the spells. We run the 3 quick launch. Finally got my final secret rare for this. This card is actually pretty amazing. There's no limitations on it besides it having to be a rocket. But even that sometimes just doesn't matter. Your foolish cards, you got 2 Dragon Shrine and 1 Foolish Burial. So in terms of opening Draconet, if you don't open Draconet and you open Dragon Shrine and Rocket Tracer, you still can do the IB combo using rockets. So it's pretty good. Your Romulus targets, 1 and 1. Dragon Extender, that's pretty much what the Divine Lance is here for. Ravine is just a searchable way to discard a card out of your hand, and Foolish Burial, a dragon from deck. So that's pretty much what those are there for. Your World Chalice targets for the IB is a Guard Dragon and a Succession. The 1 Monster Born, and I'm actually playing 3 into the drag down into the grave. So this is more of just like seeing what the opponent has. If they negate it, it's 1 less card you have to deal with. If they let it resolve, then you literally get to see your opponent's entire hand. You get to snipe a card out. You would obviously wait until your hand is fixed to the point where you're comfortable with losing anything in it. But yeah, this is mainly in here for the Nibiru, because to be honest, if you get Nibiru, you pretty much lost at that point. I don't really see a way to come back from a proper Nibiru. So that's what that's for. It's also a really good kind of budget card to play around certain things. Onto the extra deck. For synchros, we run the IB. For the Dragunity, we run the Vajrayana. So when this is synchro summoned, you would just equip the flanks onto it, summon the flanks, and then synchro again into level 8. 1 FA for the Destrudo. 1 Barcha. This is to go into the IB combo through the Dragunity engine. The 1 Crystal Wing for the crystal, I guess you can say crystal package, again using the Dragunity engine. And 1 Borlode Savage. There's certain times where you don't open optimally, and you either have to choose between your crystal or your Borlode, which it should go without saying, but you should probably just go for the Borlode Savage. You get a huge beater, and you get 1 Omni Negate. The Crystal Wing can only hit monster effects, but it can beat over anything. So it is what it is at this point. For the links, we are running the IB combo to get into the Guard Dragons. So 1 LP, 1 Pisty, 1 Lambda, 1 Romulus. This is for later after the Saryuja summoned. You go into Romulus, get the search off of that. The last link too is a Heavenly Spheres. So all of these have their uses, basically. So no matter which imp combo you use, you would still end up with the Heavenly Spheres as long as you're not interrupted. But if you do the Draconet combo, then you would go into the Lambda and then Romulus and then the Heavenly Spheres. If you do it through the Dragunity combo, you would skip Lambda, go straight into the Romulus, and then you would go into Heavenly Spheres. But it all depends. For 3s and 4s, we have 1 Triple Burst, 1 Borreload, 1 Boral Sword, and 1 Saryuja. So they're pretty self-explanatory. We've seen enough. Saryuja is your go-to Link 4. Boral Sword to close games out. Borreload, get past problematic monsters. They both trigger off your rockets. Triple Burst is just kind of, I use it mostly as a zone opener. But that's pretty much what it is. And the side is completely, it's just as generic as you can get. So there's 3 Chaos Hunters. This is to counter Orcust and Thunder Dragons. 3 Pankratops. It's just a free summon and pop if you go second. It rarely ever gets stopped by anything, so you just summon, pop whatever's in your way at the moment, and keep moving. 3 called. I didn't fit it into the main deck. I preferred running the drag down, but called is still on the side for in case I need it. For back row decks, there's 3 Twisters. There's a few discard targets that actually benefit being discarded. Sometimes when you open up one of the Guard Dragon or the Vanilla, you can discard it all. You can discard that for Twin Twisters, pop 2 things, and actually go through the IB combo after it's discarded. But the last one is just 3 Red Reboot. Again, for back row decks, just trying to get them clear their board. But that's it for this deck profile. I was thinking of maybe working on an Altergeist build. I actually have Altergeist almost completely built right now. Just a few things I need to look for and pick up aside from that. Let me know if you would like a pure rocket deck or Altergeist. I actually am also working on Fluffle Orcust. I thought that it would be dead, but there's so much searching and discarding with Toy Vendor and everything that it actually ends up just kind of running itself. But let me know what you guys thought about this deck profile. If you try it out yourself, let me know how you did. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.